What's going on, YouTube? JT is Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Batman Urban Legends issue number 14. Sorry, I'm a little bit late on this video. I got this one, and I'm going to try and cover the Batgirls comic by tomorrow, so I can be caught up. Although I think I have one more other comic I got to read, but I'm playing catch up, and soon I'll be caught up and ready for all the stuff next week. So I'm looking forward to that. But anyways, so it's been over a week or so since this issue came out. This one has several artists on it. I know this is Urban Legends. Hard to believe we're already on issue 14 of Urban Legends. Feels like it just where's the time gone at this point? Now, Urban Legends, like I've talked about, it feels like I'm not sure why this book is still kind of ongoing, all things considered, because there's been nothing really kind of amazing since that first Chip Zdarsky Red Hood storyline with the first 6 issues, which were so good. I'm really excited to see that Chip Zdarsky is going to be taking over Batman, because if the quality is as good as that Red Hood storyline, I'm really looking forward to it. But there is some fun stuff in this particular issue. So the first storyline is part 4 of 6, which is the Batman and Zatanna thing, which is one I've actually enjoyed quite a bit, all things considered. Like I said, this is a recommend for me overall with this particular issue of Urban Legends, because like I said, the first storyline is the Batman and Zatanna one. A little bit confused by some of the stuff that's kind of going on. I'm just kind of rolling with the punches. The thing that kind of works for me with that story in particular is the Constantine, Zatanna and Batman dynamic with the three of them. I just like seeing those three characters play off each other. We're kind of going into a bit of Z's mind interconnection with Bruce and John. Clearly there's more going on there between her and Bruce. That's I'm curious to see what the ultimate end goal of the story is going to be. Is there more to it? I'm not sure what's going to go on there, but I'm all for some Batman and Zatanna stuff, or Constantine Zatanna stuff. It's all good to me, and just seeing them interact works. The second storyline is a pretty interesting one. That one's written by Ryan Caddy. It's Batman and the Questions. So if you know the Questions, kind of like a bit of a crazy conspiracy theorist detective, and just seeing them play off Batman is a lot of fun. Now, I always, when I think the Question, I think of Justice League Unlimited, when it was geez, what's the guy's name? Jeffrey Combs doing the voice of him. So immediately when I think of the character, I think back to that. So just seeing him play off Batman, and Batman's okay, you're a little bit too crazy even for me. So that's a fun one. Then the third storyline, we have Birds of Prey in Memory Lane part 1 of 3. That's by Che Grayson, with a new take on the Birds of Prey, which is kind of bizarre. It's none of the real regular lineups members. You don't have Black Canary. You don't even have Batgirl. You don't even have Huntress. I'm not sure why they're even calling themselves the Birds of Prey. It just, none of them are really birds, all things considered. So yeah, it's kind of defeating the purpose there. But whatever. Should just call them something else. But anyways, and then lastly, we have the H the Bat-Hound storyline, which, like I said, is a fun, lighthearted storyline. So, like I said, first one's the Constantine Zatanna one. Artwork, like I said, there's some creative-looking panels, like this page in particular, going in the in-between. Not my ideal art style, but what works for me is the banter and the way the characters play off each other. I think it's really fun. I think it's entertaining, and like I said, I think they all play off each other incredibly well, so that's kind of the highlight of that issue for me. The next one is Bound to Our Will. This is where the Questions investigating Wayne Enterprises thinks something going on with Bruce Wayne, and so they kind of break in there, and eventually the best panel of the whole thing, Questions just so you're working with Wayne, you're doing all this stuff, yada, 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 and then Bruce Wayne finally unveils his mask, I am Bruce Wayne, checks out. There's some funny stuff there. Like I said, I quite enjoyed the Questions storyline. Then we had the Memory Lane storyline, which is a 3-part storyline that's going to go on for the next couple of months. So I think when this thing wraps up, a bunch of the stories are going to wrap up too. Because usually Urban Legends has the 2 6-part issues or something like that, and then you have 1 3-part issue, and then you have a standalone story or whatever it is in between. The Question one was just one thing, and I'm glad it was just one. It's short to the point and entertaining, all things considered. Then there's the random Birds of Prey thing. Shiva playing off against Katana is kind of cool. Then we have this character, the Ghost, and then we have Miracle Molly showing up, which I was kind of surprised to see, and they're all kind of working in cahoots, and some stuff's going on. The artwork is actually quite good. I think the artwork is probably maybe the best of the 4 issues going on in this particular Urban Legends storyline. But the story itself, I wasn't too invested into it, but it was kind of neat seeing these characters in this situation. It was nice to get a Lady Shiva and Katana kind of focused one. Not sure how I feel about the other characters. I have really loved Miracle Molly, and we got this new character in here. I just don't like that it's called the Birds of Prey. I feel like he could have gone with a bit of a different name rather than Birds of Prey. It's just like when you think Birds of Prey, I mean, technically there is a Batgirl cameo, but it looks like to be like it within like Lady Shiva's head, and like she was having to play off against Katana and all that other stuff. I don't know. And then they're just kind of dealing with this other villain. Yeah, we'll see where it goes from here. It didn't quite wow me with the first issue, but maybe I'll like it more as it goes on. And then the last storyline is, of course, the part 4 of 6 of the Mark Russell storyline. It was like Ace the Bat-Hound, a bear, a chicken, and a squirrel, and all that. Like they're like suiting up, trying to take down this bad guy who's kidnapped Batman and all that other stuff, going on crazy adventures. It's nice to see. I just love it because it's just the animals doing their thing. I think that's kind of funny. Batman's kind of like the supporting character in this particular story, not like the main thing of it all. I just like seeing Ace, and like, oh, you also have a tortoise or a turtle in there that's got like super speed and all that. Just seeing all these different like animals like try and rescue and like save the day, like just, and you don't really hear them like talk kind of fully. Like, I just think that's kind of fun and entertaining to me. And then you have Lex Luthor's dog who comes and like does battle with Ace. There's just a lot of like kind of crazy stuff going on in this thing, but it's like, it's fun, but like you actually like have a lot more sympathy because it's animals. Like, I mean, unless you're kind of heartless, then you probably won't care. But like I said, I think it's a fun storyline. I'm just like I said, like the squirrel just doing some detective work. I mean, like, what more could you ask for? Like, it's silly, it's fun, it's lighthearted, but it's still got its kind of intense moments sprinkled in throughout there. It's just a fun, simple storyline that's something that feels really different from like everything else I'm kind of reading right now with DC Comics. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's all the stuff that happened in this particular issue of Batman Urban Legends. I do give this thing a pass, and I think it is worth checking out because you got an interesting question storyline. The Birds of Prey one's kind of the weak point for me because it wasn't really like hooking me with the first issue, and I still don't like the name choice of Birds of Prey. I feel like they could have done something a little bit differently because, like I said, there's just that association with Birds of Prey that I have with Oracle or Barbara Gordon. At least you got to have at least one of the three in there. And technically there is like, I guess, a vision of like a Batgirl in there, but it just feels like it's kind of missing something. And then you have, you should have just called it The Outsiders. I mean, you would have had that connection there, but oh well. Then you had the Batman Zatanna thing where it's like, the plot's a little bit like, you're still trying to figure out some of the stuff that's really kind of going on with it. Like when you get magic involved, it's like, I just kind of roll with it, and I'm more here for the character banter and interactions. So yeah, like I said, the plot's just kind of a little bit tougher to follow with that one. But like I said, the character banter works for that thing quite well. And then the question one was good. And then you have the Mark Russell one with the dog and all that other stuff. Like I said, it's just fun kind of seeing the animals like do some detective work and trying to save the day all without really like any dialogue, and you can see them kind of emote and just kind of do things like that. It's a crazy storyline, but I think for a comic book, I think it's just kind of fun, and it kind of makes me think back to some of those older movies that I used to watch as a kid, like Homeward Bound. You'd see the animals kind of go on adventures and do their thing, or like 101 Dalmatians and stuff. It's all in good fun, so there's that. All right, well, I think that's all I really have to say about this particular issue of Batman Urban Legends, issue number 14. What did you think of the issue? Tell me your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content. And yeah, that's all I got to say about this thing. Be sure to come back next time as I will talk about the latest issue of Batgirls. I'll probably do a video on that by tomorrow. And I got some other stuff coming up, so there's that. All right, well, that's all I got to say. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.